welcome to Home with Habitat. I'm Rebekah Stevens, the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity of Rutland County. And this is going to be a show for memorial for President Jimmy Carter. And I'm blessed to have today in our kitchen, our Habitat kitchen, world-renowned and executive chef for the UN, Mike Skibisky. Hi, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Mike.
Hi.
And his sous chef for the day, Kyle Kirshner, a board member here at Habitat. So we are going to be doing what today, Mike?
We're going to be commemorating Jimmy Carter with cheesy grits.
And
Nice.
why cheesy grits?
Well, because that was his favorite. He liked grits the most, and he liked cheesy grits.
All right.
And cheesy grits are pretty famous throughout the U.S.
Southern grits.
Especially Southern, yeah. And it's going to be embellished with what you would find in high-end restaurants with blackened shrimp and maple black pepper bacon on top. You know, it's just a little extra. So, and we'll talk about the recipe as we go through it.
All right.
And we're looking forward to this.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah, let's get it
started.
going.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
let's cook.
So, quite often you can do cheesy grits with just water if you had to. Okay, but we are going to go.
They come in a box, right?
Oh, what? That's
The ones
I think I got a lot to learn here
instant.
today.
Yeah, these are medium grits, stone ground,
Okay.
and they're gluten free.
Wow. All right.
So you have to search for gluten free because if they're processed in a plant that has any wheat or wheat products, then they can't be certified gluten free. So these are gluten free.
So no instant grits for a real Southerner.
No. In fact, the coarser the better.
Okay.
And then whether it's white or yellow, you know.
So what are we starting with?
This is chicken broth,
Okay.
3 cups. I'm going to put that right there.
So
And here's our milk, if you want to add that, please.
Yeah.
3 cups of milk. So this is 2 cups of grits and 6 cups of liquid. So that's a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay? And if we need to thin it a little bit, we always have tap water. Okay.
So we know that Jimmy Carter was a very simple man and a humble man. But why would we know that he would probably enjoy this? Have you ever cooked for Jimmy before?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
A cocktail party.
A cocktail
Fantastic.
party?
Yes, at the UN.
Oh, wow, tell us.
And there were 4 other presidents at the time. 5 U.S. presidents, the first time they've ever been gathered in a room the size of like 20 by 20. And that was to have the cocktail party with Gorbachev. And that was the only time that they'd been together like that. And it took 2 years in the planning with protocol at the UN. I had to go to a meeting every week for 2 years just to get ready for that 1-hour cocktail party. Because the biggest thing the UN did was when the Queen and the Pope came to the UN at the same time.
Jimmy Carter has been the spokesperson and the face of Habitat for 4 decades. And now you are Habitat for Humanity of Rutland County's chef.
Yes.
So we know why Jimmy picked Habitat. Why did you pick Habitat?
Well, I have been community service minded for forever, okay? And that's why I joined the Coast Guard Auxiliary. That's for disaster relief and what have you. My wife and I were actually on the ground for Hurricane Harvey, second biggest hurricane and disaster in the country. So we were both in the auxiliary, Coast Guard Auxiliary, on the ground for that.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing many other things with the Coast Guard. I've been doing training and education classes and cooking classes with Wounded Warrior Project for years. So anywhere I can do something for the community, I like to give my time, and my wife does too, Maya.
Hi, Maya.
Thanks for joining us today, my lovely bride.
Well, we at Habitat, we couldn't be luckier to have you as part of our community.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for
And
that.
I enjoy when you do the groundbreaking with something different for a barbecue, right? Like we did the kielbasa that time.
Yes.
Kielbasa and homemade kielbasa and pickles. You remember that? And people
yes.
said, "Wow, I think I'll try that," and then come back for seconds, right? Yeah.
So Mike always cooks for us, and I'm all about, hey, Mike, can we do hot dogs and
Yep.
hamburgers
Am I
today for
on?
our barbecue?
Yeah, ever so often, just to check the
And
bottom.
So it's
He's
not-
like, we're not doing hot dogs
See,
and
nothing's sticking
hamburgers.
in the
We're going to
bottom.
elevate
Yeah,
this.
that's good. Yep.
So,
Come
Mike,
back.
how are we going to elevate these
Okay.
simple, hearty meal today?
Oh, we're gonna do the blackened shrimp with it, and it's gonna have the Trinity. Trinity is the southern, especially Cajun mirepoix. It's onion, bell pepper, and celery,
Oh,
and that's it. You know, like the French mirepoix is onion, celery, carrot. Okay,
I'll bet you knew that.
oh, of course. You know,
All right.
of
Mirepoix.
course. Yes, you
the
can test me
mirepoix,
later.
yeah. In fact, this is the cutting board that has all the official cuts on
Go
it.
ahead.
This is real, I don't know if you can get in, zoom in on this, but this is super cool.
Why don't you pick it right up?
We could do that.
Oh, there you go.
It's like it's a cutting board, but it's also a cheat sheet. It tells you large dicing, julienne size. You don't need to know anything, and you can use this, and you can be a chef like Mike.
How many
So what?
So how many
conversion
how many
rates?
teaspoons in a gallon, Kyle?
Oh, I'm pretty good at that. I think it's 48.
Excellent.
Close enough.
So what are you going to cut up today, or what's Kyle going to cut today?
I might start him off with the, I'll start off with the onions and then I'll do the celery and the bell pepper and then,
It's 48 teaspoons in a cup.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Not a
yeah,
gallon.
in a cup, yeah, yeah.
Can I stir this, chef?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason we're stirring that is just so any milk solids don't go to the bottom. If that was stock or water by itself, we wouldn't have any issue. But we're just checking that. You'd feel if there was something sticking on the bottom.
So now-
What happens is, once that comes to a boil, this gets what we call any cereal, whatever it is, semolina, cornmeal, ground rice, you rain it in. So you drop it in slowly, rain it in. You don't just dump it in, otherwise you got one big lump.
Yep.
So if that happens.
That won't happen today.
And then, of course, you were going to ask me about the,
There's another system here that's brilliant. Mike sets everything up first, piece of parchment paper on this tray with a place for all of the ingredients. So he's got it all set. He's done this before and has taught many, many classes at CIA and elsewhere. And so he's got this down to a science. And all the prep work is done first. This one says 2 cups of grits, chicken stock, 3 cups. So everything's set in advance, and when it's time, and he has an order, left to right, right to left, left to right, and that's how you proceed down through. And at the end, he's got the
recipe and everything,
is
yeah.
right there on the tray.
So if we weren't chit-chatting generally, because we love to chit-chat, and we were just cooking straight through, how long would it take to make this dish on average generally, like for your family?
15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
That's great.
So this is
If we
something
were,
you can
and
whip
if we were
up.
in a restaurant, we would get our grits 85% cooked, keep them thin and warm, and then as you get in order, you'd reheat them just so they're super hot.
Yep.
And then the Trinity and the shrimp at the last second.
Okay.
So in a restaurant, if you ordered it, within 4 to 5 minutes, we could pick it up.
All right.
Yeah, it's great.
So have either of you been watching any of the tributes on television or reading any of the articles about President Carter this week?
I actually heard an interview with Ted Mondale,
Oh,
Walter Mondale's son, and when Jimmy Carter was leaving office, he was asked to talk about, how would you summarize your presidency in one sentence? No politician can do one sentence. So he gave 3 concise sentences that I thought were really telling about, just who the man was. He said, "We told the truth, we obeyed the law, we kept the peace." Just such a simple
I like it.
way to express, showed his humility and And what a great man he was. So I've never forgotten that.
I like it. I recently read an article actually, and it talked about how he felt as a president, balancing the way he came in from a faith background and living his faith in politics, and the challenges that it caused for him. But what I really found the common thread through the whole thing is that he was so humbly willing to be transparent in his human weaknesses, which only, to me, increased the amount of strength that he was able to put forth in the people he was working with and the confidence they would have in him. So even though, he even readily admitted that, it was, maybe the best, not the best 4 years of what he did, but what he did from there and before there. What a testament to a life well lived, and a testament to a man living out his faith. And later on in the show, we're gonna break away for a minute, and we're gonna see a devotional that he did for one of the Habitat builds out of Massachusetts, and it touches your heart.
Yeah.
Just the man he was, and willing to put that to help those that needed it. And it's just amazing to be here now in Rutland, carrying that legacy forward for him,
Yes. It's funny, as a chef, what stuck with me the most was Rosalind kept Jimmy on the straight and narrow for nutrition.
Okay.
She was into the nutrition part, you see?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And they got many years from that, right?
Yes, he did, 100 years.
What's the temperature of that right now?
You
can tell from the vapors. See the vapors?
Pretty close
That's
to boiling
185.
point.
Yeah.
185?
You can tell from the strength of the vapors,
Yep.
or from a distance too. Like if you look over at cooks or students, you say,
You see
turn that
that,
down,
you're
it's
like-
too hot. Yeah. The first wisps you get are 150, 155, when they're just a few coming off. So you know that they're close to, or they're on the way.
So is Kyle going to get to
So
cut something?
I think
I really want to see him cut.
I think we're getting pretty close
All
here.
right.
Okay,
You're not going to ask me to multitask,
we're
right?
gonna start
I'll
with the
stir,
celery.
how's that?
I think that would
All right,
be,
I got you.
that'd
This
be a good
doesn't slip.
idea.
I'll be your
You got
sous
your
chef.
knife, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The fingers
Don't
are-
want to cut my fingernails.
The fingers are tucked back, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so go to the middle, only one item at a time on the board.
Okay.
You don't have all this
Okay.
everywhere. We're gonna, see you control everything over that, and then turn it that way. See, my fingers are
All right.
tucked back there, but
Got
they're
it.
back here, okay?
Yep.
Okay, so you finish cutting that, and then let's give you one more to cut.
Are you left-handed?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, see, I had to turn this around and make sense
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
So what kind of knife is Kyle using?
A Santuko, that's a Japanese style knife, the Santuko. And that actually has about 4 different metal technologies in it, from the hand hammering, the Damascus,
Are we
the
going, are we
hardens.
doing more, or is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. The hardens, ice hardened steel. So the metallurgy nowadays in the knives is not just one steel. You see, it's like so many different things go into a good knife these days.
So all the bumps in it, are they just decorative or are they for a purpose?
They actually help strengthen the knife, and less sticks to it that way.
Oh, okay.
And and there's an inner core. Yeah.
All right. So that would explain why when I cut things at home, I have to like peel it off the knife.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes, yeah,
I need a better knife.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that a hint?
There's a hint.
So those are small dice now,
That's a good job.
around 4 to
Kyle.
the inch.
Fine dice.
Excellent.
About
Okay,
a quarter inch by a quarter inch by a
Okay,
quarter
so now
inch.
we don't want to use the knife. We don't want to use the knife to pick things up and cut ourselves.
Right.
So we're going to go with the bowl scraper or the pastry scraper. The pastry chefs don't like to get left out, okay? Perfect.
All right, part
Okay,
one of the Trinity.
Now, let's go with the onion.
Uh-oh.
The
I'm
root
starting
was
to
there,
hear
right?
bubbles,
Yeah.
Chef. I'm starting to hear bubbles.
Let me just check the bottom.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Turn it down a little bit, please. You see how you control your product?
Yeah.
Okay?
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
half an onion, the root, always keep that away from you.
Yep.
You'll do that one, I'll do this one,
Okay.
okay? All our scraps go in here out the way. You see where the tip of the knife is?
Yep.
About a 1/4 inch from the end.
Yep.
If you go all the way through, it'll fall apart.
Yep.
Okay, and then we got to go this way.
It's fascinating.
And
Do you cut
then,
them this way? This is how I cut
No.
onions.
and then
I'm not as
your-
fast.
I don't do it.
Your thumb and pinky hold like a crab claw holds the outside. These are up here.
Yep.
So that way it doesn't splay out on you.
Yep.
Now don't
That's
try
a
to,
good tip because they do splay out when
Yeah.
I try it this way. Yeah.
you see how sharp the knife is? There's no bruising, okay? So a dull knife bruises your product and then it weeps.
Who knew?
You know.
Now I do.
Now we do.
And you'll notice how I put the knife through it like a, see it? Like that.
Yep.
If you push down, you're gonna,
Yep. Splay it out.
so we don't have to get too much out of there. We go one or two more times there. This will be used in a stock or a sauce or something. But it's all even, you see?
Yeah.
I wish you could smell this. I mean, just the onions and the broth that we're cooking.
Would you like to do the other half onion?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
There we
going
go.
right-handed though.
There's the root.
There's the root.
Okay, you're going right-handed, okay. Sounds awkward to me. I'm the southpaw, right? Yeah.
Mike did this whole thing in like 5 seconds.
You know, when the knife is sharp, you can stand 5 feet away and know how sharp the knife is from the sound, okay? So, because in culinary school, you'd even be docked if you don't keep your knife sharp.
So yeah, I'm using the tip to use the thumb and pinky
Yep,
to keep it
yep.
from splaying. Oh, that's the, yeah, that's.
You don't have to go that way if you don't want to. It's difficult until you've done 1,000 more onions.
You mean?
Well, you might be at 500 by now, I don't
I
know.
probably am.
Okay.
Okay.
We don't need Band-Aids. Look at that. Little more forward.
Got it.
Yeah.
And I think that's close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough for
One or two more.
a novice.
Perfect. And in a kitchen, we have to have stock going all the time, sauces, so. And there's your scraper.
Where's the scraper?
Our proportion's gonna be about 2 of onion, 1 of celery, and 1 of bell pepper. The bell pepper is there for the Trinity and for the color. I could have used any color bell pepper. I could have used a Fresno with a little heat in it, but we're not really in the season for Fresnos right now.
What's Fresno?
Yeah, where are Fresnos?
Fresno is like a red jalapeno.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then the bell pepper.
All right.
Okay, so this is, we're going to, and everything was always washed before it got to this stage.
Yep.
So we have the butt end, we call it. Okay. We go top and tail, see that? Okay, now, what in a restaurant you use this for? Family meal. You take that out, you cut it up and stir fry for family meal or something, you know.
Okay.
So, or for steaming, you don't waste this. Okay.
A family meal, meaning the people in the kitchen?
Yeah,
Okay.
or the crew, or the front of the house, back of the house, yeah.
I like it.
Yep. So here's what makes it so easy now. Cut right there, and see the rib is gone,
Yep. Yeah.
So nice. You didn't even
and
waste
everything
the
is
pepper.
No seeds.
no seeds, no veins, nothing.
That's fabulous.
Depending what we want to do with it now. This is very hard to do this way. Usually it's easier that side. So we're going to go with, I'll make that a little smaller just for ease.
Fine dicing again?
Yes. And it's nice and uniform, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you would like to try at least those.
Yeah.
We might not need that.
Okay.
We can,
Okay.
I'll come over here. You're going to whisk this in.
All right, let it rain.
All right.
You keep doing continuous.
Okay.
Continue stirring.
Oh,
There you
continuous,
go.
thank
Yeah.
you.
The raining part.
Okay. We'll be right back after this video.
Well, I'm going to just give you a few words of devotional this morning, and I want to start by saying that when I got out of the Navy, I was in the submarine force for a long time. When I left the Navy and went back to planes, I wanted to have a better life as a Christian, because I had been unable to go to church regularly since we moved around so much. The house that we live in now was built in 1961, and it was the 16th house in which Rose and I had lived since we got married. So you can see we moved from one place to another. I couldn't keep a regular job during those days. But I wanted to be a better Christian, so I became a deacon in the Plains Baptist Church, and I would visit people, 2 or 3 families every year to get them to accept Christ. And I was very proud of myself as a newly dedicated believer. And then one Sunday morning, the pastor there, his name was John Simpson, preached a sermon that resonated with me. The title, I don't remember the sermon itself, but the title of it was, "If you were arrested for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you?" Think about that a minute. If you were arrested for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you? You could always talk you out of it, right? You could say, well, I go to church regularly, but I do it to help my business, because I get a lot more customers since I'm known as a Christian. And we forget sometimes that the word Christian means, in effect, little Christ. If we had to say, I'm a little Christ, we would be much more reluctant to say it. But that's really what it means. And we are supposed to be, as Christians, a little version of Jesus Christ. The next year we went to Springfield, Massachusetts. And I was assigned to go with a Cuban American named Eloy Cruz, who was a pastor of a little church in New York City, in Brooklyn, as a matter of fact, that had about 50 members. And he was probably the best Christian I've ever known. He was dedicated, and he would give the presentation to the people about the plan of salvation, how you become a Christian. But my assignment was to read the Bible in Spanish. This was not an easy thing for me. I had learned some Spanish when I was in the Navy, but the vocabulary in the Navy is different from it is when you're talking about Christianity. But I did the best I could. But I was so impressed with Eloy Cruz, and at the end of that time, he was very awed by me, because I owned an automobile, and I had been a candidate for governor unsuccessfully, and I had been a state senator, so he thought I was really something. But I was impressed with his ability to reach the hearts of these people. And I asked him what was the secret to his success, and he was quite embarrassed that I would ask him such a thing. And he finally said, well, that he didn't have much study of theology, but the rules that he went by was to love God and to love the person in front of you at any particular time, which I thought was a very profound expression of faith. Do you remember what God promised Solomon when they found out that Solomon was going to take David's place as a king? Remember what God offered Solomon? Nobody remembers? Does anybody else who go to church? God, that's right. God promised Solomon a very wonderful thing. He said, anything that you ask for, I will give you. Isn't that a wonderful promise? How would you like to have a promise like that? Okay, let me tell you this. Everyone in here, including me, has that same offer from God. Each one of us can decide as we evolve into an adult, what we want in life. Because each one of us has to decide what kind of person I want to be. So as we make the decisions that shape our lives, we decide what kind of person we want to be. Do we want to be selfish or generous? Do we want to believe in peace or conflict? Do we want to be a forgiving person or one that holds a grudge? Do we want to care for other people or not? And this is one of the things that I learned as a president. I was president of the United States, as some of you may remember. And when I was president, I dealt with big things. I had about 3 million people working for me as president of the United States, and I was commander-in-chief of the military forces, in which I had served for about 12 years. And I dealt with general things like peace and human rights, which was the main things that I worked on. And I tried to put into practice some of the moral and ethical principles of my life. But I didn't have a chance as president. I was kind of isolated. And so I didn't have a chance to get directly acquainted with people who were in need. And when I got home from the Navy, from the White House, the Habitat for Humanity headquarters was in my hometown county seat in Americus, Georgia. And Millard Fuller was the head of it then. He was the founder of Habitat. So eventually we volunteered to be Habitat members. And I found there that Habitat gave me the best opportunity that I had as a human being to break down the barriers between people like myself that had almost everything I had ever wanted and those who were in need of a decent home. Habitat has expanded greatly my ability I happen to be a Christian, to put my faith into practice. And I know no matter what your faith might be, that's one of the reasons that you are motivated to come to Habitat. So don't forget that everything we have in life is given to us by God. We're given adequate talents and ability to do anything we want to. And God lets us make a decision about what kind of person I'm going to be, which is the same promise that he made to upcoming King Solomon. So that gives a great responsibility to us, but also a great opportunity. And building Habitat homes, I think, is the best opportunity that we have as Canadians or Americans to put into practice whatever our moral and ethical value standards might be.
We hope you enjoyed that short video. And Kyle and I have been helping Chef here. The grits are starting to thicken up. And how long does that take about once you pour them in?
12 to 15 minutes.
And do you have to keep stirring them, or you just every little bit?
Keep checking them.
Okay.
If we were in a restaurant, we would have those in a steam table where they're less likely to scorch but you still would stir them every few minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just checking the bottom, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so what's next?
Yep.
We need to bias cut the rest of these scallions. That with the bacon and butter and cheese is our garnish, okay?
Yes, Chef.
And then we'll put them in there. How's that?
So I'm going to get philosophical for a minute, but
yes.
Much like Habitat, that is a beautiful blend of community, volunteers, contractors, community partners. Cooking is a blend. Kyle, that's an amazing job you just did.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Can I check that?
Please. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, you can see that. It's coming nicely.
It's changed color, and it just looks so creamy. I'm looking forward to tasting it.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It almost looks like a farina or a cream of wheat, but...
Yeah. Another one of my specialties. 90 seconds or minute and a half cream of wheat.
What are grits, actually?
Corn.
Good question.
Stone ground.
Okay. So when Jimmy Carter was growing up in Georgia, would this have been a staple that they...
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was easy, or because it was readily abundant, or less expensive?
Yeah,
less
abundant.
expensive. You know, it's funny you say that because I was trying to think of something to do like with the peanuts, right? Obviously.
It was not his favorite food, he said.
Yeah, no. And
It's just a job.
It was the family business, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But other than us having a wedge of apple and some peanut butter, I said, well, we'll stick with this.
Well, I guess we could have made homemade peanut butter.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, well, I go once a week or once every 2 weeks to the health store. They have organic roasted peanuts, no salt, and you make the peanut butter right there instantly.
Oh,
they have
neat, yeah.
almonds like that too. So.
Yeah.
So this is really thickening up, Chef. So what do we do next?
Oh, we're gonna taste.
All right, so here's
All
your
right.
spoon.
That's you, Kyle.
How about this one?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. But this feels really good. Okay. All right. That's delicious.
5 minutes, 10 minutes more.
It's a little al dente.
Yeah. And it's not creamy enough in the bite.
Okay.
So it has to get more creamy. Yeah.
All right. Well, while this gets creamier, we're going to break away for another video. To do this because we put a scissor truss in this house, so it's a vaulted ceiling. So the model of Habitat is comprehensive around building financial security and sustainability. We built this home here in 5.5 months. We were able to do it with about 1,300 hours of volunteer participation, and we are very grateful for our community coming out and doing that with us. And we had about 40 on-site build days. So this was an incredible accomplishment. You know, my first introduction to Habitat, and probably my only introduction, was Jimmy and Rosalind Carter. And I always thought they had founded it. I thought, you know, they went around, they built houses for people, had really no idea the extensive footprint that Habitat International has, nor did I understand that it was a Christian organization. I had no idea. We build homes, we rehab homes, we do minor home repairs, safety accessibility repairs. You know, there's a lot of things that we do that people aren't aware of. Probably like everybody else, I thought, you know, they build homes, they give them away for free, and they help people who are homeless. That is not what Habitat is at all. And it is a hand up. Our homeowners purchase their homes. They hold mortgages. They take care of them. They're stewards of them. Our volunteers come out from all over and build, which is true. But Jimmy and Rosalind were just integral in getting the word out. They were ambassadors for Habitat International, phenomenal, well-known ambassadors, but they didn't start it. And so I learned that. And, you know, the origins were from Koinonia Farm in Americus, Georgia, and that's where it came out of, and the Fullers, starting Habitat International out of that experience. We hear that we're changing lives. We hear from the young folk that are coming into our homes, the kids, how they're just excited to be in a home that they can call their own and have their friends come over and play. We hear from the parents that we're changing the lives of their families, that they're able to now provide a safe a home for their families, and they own it. That piece of ownership is such a part of being part of a community and being able to stay and build your foundation here. One of our homeowners, I mean, we were able to help them, and this, you know, her words were that she was able to make sure that their son was able to go to college, the first one in his family. And now not only is the son in college, but the parents have gone back to school to increase their earning potential and their job skills, and they were able to do that because they're now in an affordable home and they don't have to keep moving. A lot of furniture, we sell building supplies and tools, but we cannot keep a bookshelf on the floor, and when we get a dresser, especially a smaller dresser, it flies out. The Restore's got a little bit of everything, but really, seriously, we get a bookcase, it's gone.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know why. People love bookcases.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a diverse organization with the footprint it has, with its focus on providing affordable, safe housing to folks in the community. And the international missions, I mean, they just don't build homes across the world. In Cambodia, they did beehives, and it was, a way for the community to have a source of income through the honey. So here they are helping build homes for bees, but in turn, we're able to bring an income source to this community. Welcome back to Home with Habitat. And this is pretty much thickened up, and we're ready to move on to the next step. What's next, Chef?
The next step is,
Feel how thick that is.
I know.
we've tested the grits, and they were at 90% now. When we tested them before, it was at 80%, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can also see the texture, that it's a little creamier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did find that it had a little bit of bitterness on the back of the tongue, so we added some granulated sugar.
Yes, we did.
How much?
About a tablespoon.
Okay.
Because it's not a sweet dish, but you also want to counteract a little bitterness.
Okay.
Okay. The next part would be,
Oh, you're in here.
Oh,
so we're 5 minutes out on this.
okay.
Okay.
Almost time.
And the cast iron is the best way to do blackened shrimp and things.
Yeah.
But see, as we have our 3 shrimp for our garnish, we're not going to take this whole cast iron pan. We're going to use that little frying pan there.
Okay.
Now let's,
Where would you like it, Chef?
we want to push this to the back.
Okay.
Okay, that to the back. We'll bring that to the front.
Okay.
And I'll include my blackening spice for the recipe, okay?
All right. So they'll be able to get it from us. Can we put this on our webpage?
Yes, yes.
Oh, wonderful. So
Okay.
you'll be able to visit our webpage, and we'll include the recipe. And
This-
that's rutlandhabitat.com.
Rutlandhabitat.com.
Yes.
Look for Chefsky's recipes,
That's
tips
right.
of the day, right?
Exactly.
Now, this does have a little bit of salt and sugar in it.
Okay.
But if you look at recipes you buy, it's more salt and sugar forward, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so this here, and you can put a little bit on the tip of your pinky, and that tells you everything about it.
Oh, delicious.
The first thing you get on the tip of your tongue is the salt.
Yep.
Second thing you get is sugar on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
Spice at the back of your tongue.
Yeah.
Okay? And then it
Delicious.
Exactly.
travels to the back, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's all we need in here for now.
This is like one of those little hot springs right now.
See this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Boy,
that's
they're
it.
beautiful.
We don't need to do much with this.
Little
A little
oil.
bit, teaspoon, literally.
Okay. And this is olive oil.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a very light olive oil.
So are we talking
Perfect.
like extra virgin or
No,
normal?
No, regular.
Regular?
Pretty much
Even,
whatever you got on hand.
yeah, even if it has a blend of canola or something in it for cooking, higher heat, better avocado oil or peanut oil.
I was gonna
And
say,
peanut
could you
oil-
use peanut
Peanut
oil?
oil is great, yeah.
We could do peanut oil in honor of President Carter.
You'll find for price-wise and heat,
Safflower
call it-
oil? Is safflower high heat?
not
No,
really.
not
no.
necessarily.
But peanut oil is, and that's why a lot of Asian restaurants use it for deep
For-
frying.
for
It doesn't,
wok and
it
then, yeah.
doesn't break down so fast. And it's a good price. Plus, pretty neutral in flavor. But you gotta watch allergens. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's hardly anything in here.
Yeah.
Do we turn this
No,
on?
I'll-
Okay, just do it quick.
Yeah, so this
Okay.
here, this is Mount Vesuvius now. It's got those little bubbles, right? Mm-hmm. Feel the bottom, there's nothing happening. See it?
Yep.
It's not sticking. So we're very happy about that.
Very happy.
And we're going to put that, just because I'll have these 3 shrimp. Obviously, we had the shrimp in here now, so I'll use this for the other shrimp when we saute it.
And while we blacken these up, we're going to take another break to see a local video of what we're doing right here in Rutland County to honor the legacy of Jimmy Carter. You know, the kitchen is really one of my favorite spots because this was part of our Gifts in Kind program through Habitat International. We're able to access gifts in kind when large corporations will donate items, and these cabinets actually came through the IKEA program. And we were able to receive these for just the cost of freight. And one of our local supporters actually donated the cost of the freight. So these cabinets went in for free. And so it helps us lower the cost of the price to the homeowner. And then we have wonderful relationships with local vendors like Rotella's who did our cabinets. And they do everything for us, you know, as also with a reduced rate. This is 1,127 square feet. It is an insulated concrete form home. So even though it looks completely normal, drywall and everything on the inside of the house and siding on the out, inside is the walls where the difference are. Instead of being made with wood construction, we use ICF, which is an insulated concrete form, and we fill it with 6-inch core of concrete. So this is actually pest resilient, hurricane proof, resilient proof. I'd like to say, you know, that these are going to stand for a long time. This is number 1 Hickory. It is the third of our homes here on the Hickory Street development and our final one. The land was donated to us by the Rutland Housing Authority when they finished the Hickory Street program over here, the housing project for affordable housing rentals. And they had this piece of land left over and they donated it to us very graciously. And we were able to subdivide it and build 3 home ownership opportunities on it. So we have 3 single family homes, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. And this is the last and the newest of them. It's got ample closet space and for folks to hang things and store things. We have a beautiful bathroom, which very large because this is the only bath in the house. So we want to make sure it's quite functional for a family. For up to 6 people could live in this home. So because it is 3 bedrooms. So it's got a tub shower enclosure and a beautiful sink and very efficient home. Everything's electric in this house. So here's one of 2 of the primary rooms, the 2 of the larger rooms. And you can fit a king-size bed in here. You have a beautiful view of the mountains. And then we have the second bedroom, again, equal size. All of our homes have heat pump heads in each of the bedrooms, so you can control the environment. All of the rooms have closets, so we have plenty of space for closet stuff, so it's good. Like I said, modest, safe, and affordable. That's the goal. That's what we do here at Habitat. So people ask me all the time, why Habitat? And my simple answer is, I love being part of the solution. I love being able to provide our community with affordable, safe home ownership opportunities and the opportunity to build sustainability in their own lives, to give them security and to be part of a community and to help it build and get stronger. And that is why I do what I do. Hi, I'm Rebekah Stevens and I'm the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity of Rutland County, Vermont. Welcome back. And we just finished sauteing these beautiful blackened shrimp. And now Chef is going to saute vegetables?
The Trinity.
Woo!
The Cajun Trinity.
Oh, if you could be in here right now
Onions,
smelling
celery,
this.
and red bell peppers. Diced. Finely diced.
Well, we obviously have enough for 10 people here, don't we? Just that little bit. We don't want to color this very much. We just want to soften it and release the flavor. I don't need to season this because we have the seasoning in here.
Okay.
Okay.
And you had mentioned while we were cooking this to just watch for the shrimp to curl.
That's right. A little curl.
And do they consider this like a opaque color or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The inside is opaque, yes.
Nice. Beautiful.
Will we be looking for this to curl as well? Is that
They-
the indicator or not?
they'll-
Not when you're sauteing?
They'll firm up a little bit, that's all. We're not looking, see, here's our seasoning right there. Close that up for me, please.
Just smells so good.
See how it start, the
Yeah.
shrimp go opaque like that?
Yep, it's beautiful.
So in Italian, when you make risotto, they have an Italian term called all'onda, means on the wave. So risotto, when it's just finished, it should be that consistency. Same with this, it comes out, and you can do this and it'll just move slightly. By the time it gets to the customer, it's not moving anymore.
Right.
But the all'onda means on the wave, yeah.
On the wave.
And we want the same happening here. So this is foolproof when you think you don't have to rely on somebody seasoning it because they're just adding the blackening.
Yeah.
And you know that this is going to be seasoned. So the shrimp are just about there. See that?
Yeah.
A few more seconds on there.
Yep.
But what I'm going to do, because we want a little bit of sauce here.
Yeah.
Okay? So 1 drop of water. And you know what's going to happen to that now.
Oh, butter.
It's going to get even more delicious.
Look at that. See the shine?
It's beautiful.
If you just put the butter, it'll break down. This way we're liaising the liquids in the butter so it's smooth. See that?
Yeah.
Real low. This here. We can't forget the cheesy part. This is the,
Special ingredient.
that goes in here. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
What is that special ingredient?
It's a secret ingredient.
Give him a B+ for the day.
Okay.
The secret ingredient, just a teaspoon of sherry. Okay, cheese. Smoked Gouda, there's a Parmesan cheddar in here. So it gives us the creaminess, the smokiness,
Scallions?
and the scallions are going to go very, very last with the bacon. So we're also getting seasoning from here, aren't we?
Yep.
I'm going to move everything off here. Or a little touch of lemon. Heat, fat, and acid.
Heat, fat, and acid.
Anytime you can put heat, fat, and acid in a dish, there's plenty of acid in the cheese, isn't there? Okay? There's plenty of fat between the oil and butter, the creaminess and the cheese, right?
Yeah.
And a little hint of acid, okay? And a little alcohol if you have it, or vinegar. Certainly doesn't do a bad thing. Okay. We definitely have the heat, fat, and acid, don't we?
It's all there.
Absolutely beautiful.
I'm going to put that back up a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Put it right there.
And we're ready here.
Okay.
This is obviously a family size.
Well,
I don't
we're
know.
a family.
I don't know if family size for Kyle, but he might want that by himself.
That's about right.
There's
That's
the
the right
wave,
portion
okay?
size.
It's beautiful.
There's the wave. Cheese, please.
You got it.
Watch me pull a spoon out of my back pocket.
You have
Yeah.
all the tools. We'll have to
See-
get you a tool belt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Habitat tool belt. See the consistency? Okay.
That is beautiful.
We don't like to work out of the pans. We like to work with a spoon. I don't want to cheat anybody, a little shrimp there. Maybe a little bit of that. There we go. Can I have a little paper towel, please? Piece of paper towel. Thank you. Well, we're going that way, aren't we? let's see. Maximum color, how's that?
It's beautiful.
I know what you two are going to have first. You're going to grab those shrimp, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Paper
Now you're going to want the big spoon, Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our bacon and our scallions. Look at this. Going to show off our bacon. And Kyle likes maple, so this is maple bacon.
Perfect.
Maple black pepper bacon.
Gotta have a little tribute to New England in there.
I know there's a little bacon left for you. And our nice bias cut scallions. Did I miss one? There we go.
That's beautiful.
There we go. And
Beautiful
before we
color.
Go
Okay.
any further?
Oh, yeah.
There's the recipe.
There's the recipe.
You are truly an architect of food.
Thank you. And then if you've kept it clean, all you have to do is fold it like that, put it back in your folder. But I would say maybe not.
Maybe not this time.
Well, thank you very much.
Can we
we're gonna-
taste it?
Oh, I thought that was for the audience.
Would the audience like to taste some too? So we're going to get ready to taste this, and I want to thank you for joining us today for Home with Habitat. Please check our website at rutlandhabitat.com for this episode and the other ones that we have already filmed.
Spoons right there.
And please come visit us
Somebody
down at the
buy
Restore to sign the Memorial Jimmy Carter door that we have, and it will be going on tour starting in February. So stay tuned for your local location throughout Rutland County. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.